Good morning, YouTube. So I'm just now rolling out a HelloFresh delivery. It's 6:44 a.m. Monday, July 31st, 2023. Last day of July, and do I have all the money to pay every bill that's due by August 1st? Almost. I would have been good to go, but yeah, I've already mentioned the Wells Fargo credit snafu. It's extra frustrating because I have never ever missed a payment, and I've had that credit card for a long time, in spite of some pretty dire straits with my finances that I've gone through in the last few years. I always manage to scrape together enough to at least make the minimum payment. So this is the first time they've ever dropped my credit limit. So that was well, I'm the one not going. Whoops. So yeah, they can gargle my balls. So I was thinking that the problem with the car not starting the other day was heat related, but it just did it to me right now. Now this time around, it started and then, or it didn't start, it went clunk, and just like it was doing yesterday when I couldn't get it to start and ended up walking back to Domino's. But then it after that, I just waited a couple seconds and then it started right up. So I don't know, but I'm not trusting it, I'll tell you that. So hopefully I've left myself enough time to get to work. I want to try to call Rob, but I'm down to 6% on my phone. Brought a charging block, forgot to bring a lightning cable, so I couldn't charge it at work. I'm using the charger, and I don't know if I mentioned this on my blog whatsoever, but one of the random perks about moving the cars around at the rental car center is small random things left behind in the cars. And by small random things, I don't mean something that has like a lot of value, like say a high-end smartphone or something, or even any smartphone. Even if it's a crappy smartphone, somebody's life is tied to that piece of shit. Let me think. What kind of freebies have I got out of rental cars? Individual packets of Advil. Where somebody bought like one of the little boxes at a convenience store that has 3 or 4 of the little packets, but they only left 2 of them, and they left the box with 2 unopened packets in there. Hell yeah, I'll take those. Never know when the hell I'm gonna need some painkillers. They go right in my backpack. Unopened candy. I found a really good cookie in a car the other day. Again, I'm not gonna eat anything that's like open, but it was packaged and sealed, and coming with the driver. The driver was driving the shag that was shuttling me, and it was the older guy, the older black guy. He I don't know how old he is, but I want to say he's probably in his 70s. He's like, that's probably a $7 cookie. But the packaging indicated that it was from an expensive hotel. I'm trying to remember which one. I want to say Courtyard by Marriott, I think. Or it might have been one of the Hiltons. Now I forget. Whatever it was, like it had really fancy packaging on it from an expensive hotel. So I don't know if it came from like the Honor Bar inside the, what do you call it, like the little snack bar where you have it in your room in the inventory and they charge it through the roof if you eat anything out of it, or if it came out of, whatever. I'll tell you this, it was a delicious cookie. It was in the car was kind of hot. Like I got it out of the rental car center, so it was in the shade. It wasn't like massively melted, but it was warm. And it was chocolate chip cookie, tasted fresh out of the oven. It was amazing. Lots of cell phone cables. I've never been so overstocked in USB-C cables as I am right now. I'm pretty wild. Oh, this isn't good. I was going to check Google Maps to see what the traffic is like, because I know this time of day it's shitty. I should have probably left a little earlier. I stayed damn near an hour, over an hour, past the scheduled end time with Wonolo, which, I mean, they'll keep me working as long as there's work there, and there was still more work, and I felt bad that I had to tell them again. Last time I left, and I still stayed a little bit later than, significantly later than when I was scheduled to leave. But yeah, last time I was like, yeah, I'm tired. I'm just too tired to keep going. Sorry. And this time I was like, yeah, I got a day job. Sorry. It's all good. They really appreciate me there. I've been told repeatedly that if I want employees there, just let them know. They'll schedule it. Right now, Wonolo is convenient. So, damn, I looked at the traffic too late. I should have got off on Thomas. Yes, I really should have got off on Thomas. Damn it. It's showing yellow right now, and it's about to go red. And predictably, I-10 all the way across town is just terrible. Damn it. When I was estimating how much time I needed to get back over to my place and then back over to the rental car center, I was estimating it based on non-rush hour driving time, and I just didn't even think about the fact that this time of the morning, I-10 from Loop 101 into downtown sucks. Oops. So yeah, looking at Google Maps, I don't want nothing to do with I-10. In fact, I should have got off at Thomas, but that's fine. I can get off here at McDowell. Anytime I'm passing in an exit lane like this, I try not to go too much faster than the congested traffic and be ready for anybody pulling out in front of me, trying to get out of congested traffic. I've seen entirely too many freeway accidents happen as a result of somebody thinking that they should just fly out the exit lane because it's clear while the through lane is big time congested, and then somebody tries to get out of the congestion. They can't see the guy that's flying in the lane to the right. And then we have some real congestion. People playing bumper cars. Oh, damn it. Wow, that's interesting. I had the iPhone on the charger cord sitting on the passenger seat on maps so I could look down and see what the traffic is like. And it slid forward and something bumped the screen, and now I got a picture of breakfast. That's just not even cool, Google. I want a breakfast like that. I don't know how I ended up with that. Oh, and of course it got me off my spot. Damn it. Well, I guess I have to wait till I'm at a red light to recenter my map. I keep saying I'm going to get a second cell phone mount. But it's one of those little projects I just never seem to find to mess with. And of course, I was looking at the traffic on I-10. I didn't really check McDowell or Van Buren. I need to go home, and I'm kind of kicking myself in the ass with that. My hat is here. My gloves are here. My gloves are in the damn car. I worked a shift today inside with no gloves. I couldn't bring myself to ask the manager for another pair because he gave me 3 pairs yesterday. 3 brand new pairs of gloves, which is a hell of a hookup. And I know they track how many he gives out, so that's being excessively generous. And I use those gloves more at the rental car center these days than I do at HelloFresh. Which makes me wish I really still had a pair of the Amazon gloves. I'd like the freebie employee work gloves over there. But the HelloFresh ones are decent as well. They do good at protecting my hands from hot steering wheels. Wow, brand new stoplight going in here. Got those new obnoxiously fat poles that they're using on all the new traffic lights. I just remember I was going to call Rob to let him know about the issue with the car and let him know that I did recover it. Because as far as he knows, it's still sitting dead at the corner of 29th Street and Oak. I got a bit of a red light. I should check my traffic. All right, we got another person sitting like almost 2 car lengths behind the vehicle in front of him in the left lane. Somebody on the short that I did about that, somebody put in the comment section that was to prevent carjacking. It's a city driving thing, which is, I've never heard that before, and I've been city driving for as a taxi driver since 1991. I've never heard of that. Anyway, of course, I had to respond that the best way to prevent a carjacker is to pack heat. On that note, Arizona being an open carry state and being so pro-gun doesn't seem to have the carjacking problem that other states have. Things that make you go, It's not a state you want to try to jack a car in. It'll be a good way to get shot and for the person to easily justify it as self-defense. Wow, brand new stoplight poles at this intersection. These were not here the last time I went through this intersection. I'm at 75th Avenue in McDowell. All right, lots of homeless junkies at the bus stop on the right. And at this point, I feel like I'm somewhat committed to McDowell, so may as well just call Robsy. Whoa. Some of the positions that I see the homeless people contorted into on the bus stops are just unnerving. Wow, looks like recently changed out streetlight poles here too. Look at all these people parked in front of a fire department. Like there's a sign that says "Do not stop and box." It's got the little X's in front. And I can see at least 3 vehicles, 2 in the left lane, 1 in the lane in front of me, that were stopped in front of the fire station. So if there was a fire or another kind of emergency that required EMTs to come from the fire station, they wouldn't be able to get out. It just amazes me how many people do that kind of crap here in Phoenix. Block intersections, block the exits to fire stations. Oh, and let's not forget, the state is also really good, particularly this city, for people not stopping for emergency vehicles, not pulling over for emergency vehicles, and not stopping for school buses. I don't know if anybody tracks statistics for that, but I can't help but think that Arizona rate's really high. All right, now we get to see all the people that can't figure out how a hawk works. It's been blinking for a while. Now, granted, I'm not close enough to see if there's still somebody in the crosswalk. But yeah, the way the signage is, it's pretty clear. As soon as there's nobody in front of you in the crosswalk, if it's blinking, you can go. You do have to come to a full and complete stop before you go, and most people don't do that either. They get up to it. And then if the car in front of them goes when it starts blinking, well, it's clear. Most of the cars behind them just go. They don't stop whatsoever. And once it's blinking, you're supposed to treat it as a stop sign. Check the traffic. There was a little gap this far in of I-10 not being too terrible. Oh yeah, no, I don't want nothing to do with getting on I-10 right now. Looks like if I get on at 35th Avenue, I'll be all right. Although it looks like it's pretty shitty from the stack all the way to 7th Street. So, of course, that stretch of McDowell is like stop and go just due to a bunch of poorly timed stoplights and light rails. So, oh, I got a whole bunch of messages on Snapchat. All right. I'm so distracted, and I need to really pay attention to the traffic in front of me because this light's about to change. But let's see if Rob's up this early. It's a little early for him, but sometimes he's up this early. It's raining. Hey Rob, it's Dan. I just want to let you know I went back to the car, I want to say maybe about 6:30 or so, And I was with a friend. We were going to try to jump start it, but I just went ahead and tried turning the key before we pulled the jumper cables out, and it started right up, which is weird. Got home, tried, shut it off, started it back up, started up just fine. Got offered the overnight gig at the HelloFresh delivery place, so I went ahead and took that, and it started right up and got me there just fine. And I was thinking it might be heat related, but at the end of my shift, it did the same thing where it didn't want to start, and I waited about 10 seconds and then turned it again, and it started right up. So I think an electrical short somewhere, but I don't know. Anyway, if you give me a call back when you get this, because that was way too long of a voicemail message. I mean, I hated messages like that so much, I just stopped using voicemail like well over a decade ago. In fact, it's probably been 15 years since I bothered to use voicemail. Oh, and I'm still way low on gas because I haven't found the damn time to top off. I don't know that I have the time right now. 7:04. I'm not making too bad time getting across town. Let's see who sent me chats. Oh, it's mostly a bunch of just Snapchat reminding me that my friends have snaps. Yeah, I know how to look at them when I have time. Come on, Snapchat, leave me alone with that shit. I was not expecting this construction, but it doesn't seem to be really slowing me down any. Academy of Math and Science. Just seeing that made me think of my older daughter. Hopefully the place she's at is doing good for her. I asked her to call me every day around 4:45 because I get off at 4:30, and at 4:45 I'm pretty much without fail just in the process of driving home. And she called me one day at that time. She hasn't called me since. She's probably mad that I haven't shown up with the stuff she asked me to bring, but I have had no time for a trip out to Tolleson. Or actually, she said Levine. I missed the light. Dang it. I think this is 51st. Yes. Oh yeah, this is most definitely 51st. I very vividly remember breaking down and being stuck in that Chevron and all the crazy, sketchy people there while I was waiting for AAA to show up and tow me away. Oh, crap. Wonolo's trying to get me to go work this morning at LSG Sky Chefs. At this point, I've pretty much decided that I'm not going to ever take a job through Wonolo through Sky Chefs. And this here image explains why. Yeah, that just seems like an absolutely ridiculous policy, especially considering how long and how many jobs I've taken through Wonolo where I've done great and where I've been put on preferred lists. But what, I fail a different background check than the one that Wonolo already did, and they're going to just completely suspend my Wonolo account. The world's current reliance on automated online background checks just makes me absolutely sick. And I would really love to see some legislation to reel that shit in, because it's stupid. Really stupid. Somewhere I read that the LSG Sky Chef's background check is through Checker, CHEKR. I think that's how they spell it. And I'm pretty sure that Checker is the one that did my background check for, and I might be wrong here, so I can't remember if it was Lyft or if it was Postmates or if it was DoorDash. I know one of the apps that I applied to drive for during the pandemic, and everyone's like, oh, well, you know, you can't do karaoke, just drive on an app, you got a car. And every app that I applied for to drive on used automated background checks, and then I was in limbo for an extended period of time, followed by nope, you don't meet our standards. Thanks for applying. Kind of bullshit. And one of those companies, I distinctly remember they used Checker for the background check. And now at this point, I've become really diligent about going through every time I do one of those, and if there's an option to get a copy of the background check, then I ask them to send me one. But I didn't do that with Checker, so I don't know what it was that they found that made me unworthy of either delivering food with my own car or driving people with my own car. Which is really fucked up when you consider that, like, I've had nothing negative in my background happen since when I was driving for American Pony Express and I was cleared to drive unaccompanied minors for CPS. So, make that shit make sense. But yeah, I make way too much money off of Wonolo, and I enjoy the work that I get off of Wonolo to even consider running the risk of suddenly being ineligible to work all these jobs I've been just fine working for a month. There's been a lot of other places offering gigs through Wonolo as well that I haven't tried yet. One that really caught my eye last week, and I really would have loved to have been able to do it, but of course I was busy working at the Hertz with I forget the name of it, with MLS. But the gig was, wow, I just had another Wonolo pop up. What's that one for? Oh, they're still trying to get me over at LSG Sky Chefs. Yeah, leave me alone on that one. Come on now. Now, the one that popped up last week that I really wanted to do, but it was just like, nope, this doesn't work with my schedule, I can't make this fit at all, was spin scooters. Now, I did say I've got to get their clean MVR certification, which is frustrating because everybody's got different standards for clean MVR as well. I know the last time I applied to drive for Yellow Cab, I didn't have a clean enough MVR to do that. Now, granted, that was about 1.5 years ago, almost 2 years ago. So I'm pretty sure I've had a ticket drop off my record since then. Now, the background check that I got a copy of that MLS used, it was color coded, and all my stuff was colored green except for my driving record, and it had red next to it. Now, they hired me anyway, so MLS obviously felt that was, in spite of the background check company marking it as red, of like, oh, this guy's got some issues, it was clean enough for them. And obviously it's clean enough with Domino's. I initially thought that's what was taking Domino's so long to get back to me. But yeah, the first time I finally got around to texting Frank back and asking, hey, what's going on with that? Why is this taking so long? Did you guys forget about me? And he told me that, oh, come on now. Oh, wow. That is the most trouble I've had accelerating with my transmission. I really thought after I got the radiator fan fixed that this car would be just good to go, reliable, nothing to worry about. But yeah, the transmission issue is getting notably worse, and the mysterious turn the key and it clicks and won't start thing that's the big deal breaker. And I gotta stop and get gas somewhere soon. I did not like this stop every day and get a little bit of gas thing. Generally speaking, I top off the full tank on a card. It's really shitty not being in a position to do that right now. I'm convinced I'm going to be fine money-wise if I can just keep going how I'm going. But man, this next week is going to be a juggling act. And my ace in the hole for getting through it was shit, I'm in the wrong lane. My ace in the hole for getting through was going to be my Wells Fargo card, which had a few $1,000s worth of available credit on it. I didn't want to use. I've worked hard to get that balance knocked out, but yeah, that just got magically taken away without warning. And I didn't even get an email, or if I did get an email, I sure as hell didn't see it. It's possible they gave me a letter in the mail. I haven't checked my mail in weeks. I ain't got time to do that today. I look on my smartphone to see what damn time it is. I still have no dashboard clock. 7:15. Yeah, I really should have left. Really should have left HelloFresh a little bit earlier, but whatever. Hey, I'm still getting more money, and that's a good thing. And that's money that should show up by tomorrow. Might even show up later today. I'm hoping with this extra money from HelloFresh that I didn't expect to get from last night, and then the night before, and whatever money I have in my pockets that I got from Domino's, which ended up not being much. Oh my God, it finally happened. I completely filled up that 256 gig micro SD card on Obamaphone 3. I'm not sure entirely where it cut me off. I'm not even worried about it. It doesn't matter. I'm just driving through the Deck Park Tunnel on I-10, talking to myself. Just another morning, right? Still need to get gas. I'm on my iPhone. It's a little tight on space, but fuck it. I'll figure it out. I'm so behind at fucking posting these that it just absolutely doesn't matter. And I have no contingency plan for catching up on it either. Absolutely none. And I'm in a pattern where I shoot way more every day than I get published. By the time this gets put on YouTube, it might be over a month behind. I can only imagine. I don't even care. Nobody comes to my YouTube channel for current events anyway, so. Oh, I definitely should have left HelloFresh sooner. I don't know what the hell. When I was estimating how long it would take to drive, I don't know what the hell I was thinking in terms of traffic. Hello. I like, as if I don't know what Monday morning rush hour is. I need to get into that right lane, but as much as the vehicles in front were slowing down, the vehicle that I should have had space to pull into the right was just creeping up fast. So at this point, I really can't afford to top off my gas tank, but I'm thinking my best place to go to get gas is still Costco. I'm just gonna have to get a small amount with my Chase business debit. Time check here. Man, this just sucks. I have no Detour Dan. I have no morning news on the radio. I have no dashboard clock. I mean, I could have some music on. I got my forklift speaker. The last song I heard it playing was Stories I Tell by Toad the Wet Sprocket, which is by a huge margin my favorite Toad the Wet Sprocket song. And that's not even a hit song for them. It's just a random album track. That song just checks all the boxes for me. $7:22. Actually, I'm doing pretty good for time. And even as slow as the traffic was going through downtown on I-10, that was still better than it would have been staying on McDowell. McDowell from 19th Avenue to 7th Street is just not really good at any time. It's not even a question of traffic. Avenue on one of those old six-way traffic lights. They haven't put in a gradient level intersection there, and they're never going to. It doesn't make any sense there. That six-way intersection is going to be there forever, and it's... Sometimes I get lucky. I get a green light, I go right through it, but the chance of getting a red light there is very high, and the chance of it being a very long red light is also very high. Usually get a green light at 15th Avenue. That's one of those, I'm pretty sure it's a triggered light on 15th Avenue. There's not much traffic on 15th Avenue, and when it is triggered, it doesn't stay red very long. But 7th Avenue is not timed with 19th Avenue whatsoever. So more often than not, I'm still going to get a red light at 7th Avenue. I don't know what the hell this is I'm stuck behind, but I'm not liking it. Kind of weird crane. Reliable. Rely to jam up freeway traffic, that's for sure. Once you get past 7th Avenue, then it really sucks. Because you got light at 5th Avenue, light at 3rd Avenue. Those ones are just not synchronized for shit. Not synchronized with each other, not synchronized with 7th Avenue. And then once you get to Central, there's light rail tracks there. And none of the traffic lights with light rail are convenient to get across if you're in a car. They just absolutely, none of them are synchronized with the adjacent traffic lights. And when I'm talking about synchronized, before Phoenix had light rail, with the exception of traffic lights at freeways and traffic lights on Grand has always been a clusterfuck. On most streets, you could do around 40, 42. Even the streets that are 35 miles per hour, you can do around 42. Which I think has to do with a lot to do with why roads in Phoenix with the speed limit of 35 move at about 42. And the ones with the speed limit of 40 move at about 42. And the ones with speed limits of 45 also move at about 42, because that's how they have the traffic lights synchronized. It used to be most of Phoenix was like that. It's not as much anymore, and the Hawks have kind of thrown it off. The light rail has really thrown it off. But yeah, you hit Central, and that typically is a pretty long light when you're on McDowell. And then after that, you got 3rd Street and 7th Street, and of course those aren't synchronized either. So yeah, even if there's no traffic at all, getting stuck in the level of traffic I went through on I-10 is still preferable. I should have gone for 44th. Well, you know what? No, I shouldn't have. Now that I think about it. Because I definitely need to get gas. But, oh shit. Oh shit. Wow. Just occurred to me, if I pull into Costco to get gas, there's an extremely high chance that my car isn't going to start. Yeah. Absolutely not worth the risk of being late to my job at MLS. Absolutely not worth it. Debating between backtracking to my place on Palm or backtracking on Oak. New Oak. Yeah, not worth the risk. No. I'm gonna go home. That way, if it doesn't start, the car's already home, and I can do either Lime or Waymo down to the SkyTrain and take SkyTrain to work. And I should be on time. Yeah, I can't run the risk of having a car that won't start blocking the pumps at Costco. not this time of day. Not only does it run the risk of me being super late to work, but it also runs the risk of me being the asshole that blocked the busy gas pump line at Costco when people are pressed for time trying to get to work in the morning and get gas to get to work in the morning. Don't want to be stuck there. Don't want to be that asshole. And Wonolo popping me up, I can't read what it says, but more likely than not, it's just really trying to get me to go to Sky Chat. And I've looked at the advanced settings on Wonolo. I don't think I can have it block, have it like not giving messages from a specific gig. Wish it could. The policy just seems asinine to me that if I fail that background check that I can't do Wonolo at all anymore. Like, I would get it that if I fail that background check, I can't work for Sky Chefs. That makes total and complete sense. I don't even have an issue with that. But to pull me off of Homewood Suites, where I'm pretty sure I'm welcome to go back. It wasn't a terrible gig. I mean, the place is kind of gross, but, you know, I'd do it again. HelloFresh Production, where they've strongly encouraged me to apply through a staffing agency. HelloFresh Delivery, where management has told me that they just hire me directly on without even having to deal with a staffing agency, and have kind of begged me to do it. And also Restaurant Depot, where the manager has also asked me to come on as full-time employee. I guess on the bright side, like, all of those places I could go back to and work for without Wonolo, but there's something about the convenience of just taking it as it's offered off Wonolo. Anyway, let me check, see if my car's going to start. Well, it did that time. Still a crapshoot as whether it's going to start when I get back, but I need to go get ready for work.